with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
A very good morning to you. A wise man once said that you can deceive some people all the time, but you cannot deceive all the people all the time. Today is the 23rd of March 2017. We are going to discuss of whether the people of this country, you sitting at home, have been deceived by the promises of this current government. To talk about this and more, we have an eminent guest once again in our show today, Mr. Asad Salih, the leader of the National Unity Alliance. Good morning to you, Mr. Salih.
Very good morning.
As the theme of our show today suggests, I'm going to ask you an open-ended question at the very outset. Has the people of this country been deceived by the government?
I will not say deceived, but to an extent hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked. Why do you say this?
Because the expectation of the people is very high, and with lot of difficulty the masses went before the polling station and voted for a change. That change they expected today over 24 months, but the government was unable to deliver what it promised. Now if you see the UN sessions going, and if you see the people who are represented in Sri Lanka, I mean, what do you call them? Right? Why do they go there? Why is the government asking for 2 more years? You see, my point is always very clear. When a mandate is given by the public to a particular government, that is the time that all your promises must be implemented. That is what I say is the first year. If you don't deliver these things within the first year, you will never ever deliver it, because you are going to give, and after another 2 years, you are going to tell the people, we want to give it, but
we don't have
people
time.
are opposing.
Okay.
People are opposing. There is strikes, there is protest going on right throughout, so we are unable to. We need a clear mandate. So we are going before the masses again, asking them to give us a clear mandate to implement this. This is the thing that they are going to tell. You wait and see, after 2 years also, this government, let it be recorded and played after 2 years, again will go and say, sorry and very sorry, we are not going to implement this now. Now the other thing is, 30/1, the resolution of 2015.
Of the UN Human Rights Council.
Right? In Sri Lanka they sat and said, the President and the Prime Minister both said, we are not going to allow any foreign judges to come into Sri Lanka. You keep saying this here. Why didn't the foreign minister make that statement in the UN? Why didn't the deputy minister who was there yesterday make this statement? So whom are you hoodwinking? You are telling this to the Sri Lankan people and not to the UN. You say, now what do you say? We will implement the 30/1 resolution in 2 years.
Give us some more time.
You only are asking for time, but you should have said, we are agreeable to everything and we are not agreeable to one thing which we signed. You signed it. You are part and parcel of that resolution. Now you come back and say, sorry, the Mahanayakas or the Sinhala extreme forces are going to do this and that, so we are not in a position to bring in foreign judges. You say that is the UN. Amend the resolution then. You need an amendment. You can't simply be talking in Sri Lanka.
Mr. Salih, we will go to Geneva in a bit, but I want to focus the attention on our country. I want to especially go to the Eastern Province. No, sure.
Okay.
I want to take your attention to the Eastern Province. The Eastern Province is a majority Muslim area.
Yeah.
Now we
Muslim
saw,
Tamil area.
yes,
Yeah.
Muslim and Tamils. Now we saw in the news reports for the previous few days, an alcohol distillery is being put up in the Eastern Province. Now this same company is owned by a company implicated under the massive bond scam of the country as well. Now a number of politicians have come forward and questioned whether this is suitable, whether this company can get a tax concession, so on and so forth. What do you think as a person who represents the Muslim people?
Actually, it's a predominant Tamil speaking area. And my worry is, I saw the Megapolis minister making a statement yesterday.
Yes.
And I should be questioning him now. How did the UDA give this approval? Number one. knowing that it's going to be a distillery company, mainly special, right, all that. Who are the people behind this? Right? And moreover, except for one Tamil politician in that area, not a single person has spoken about this. This is what is really hurting. And the chief minister,
Why do you think that is? What do you think is the reason?
the pressure and the power they have. Right, you can see that happening. I mean, for them to go to the eastern province, right, where as Muslims, this is haram for us. The chief minister sitting is a Muslim. How did he give the approval?
Did he give the approval?
I mean, of course, if you are the chief minister, you have to represent East, Trincomalee, all that area is coming under you. And if you don't oppose it, or even say that you don't know anything about this, that excuse cannot be accepted. So they are all part of the game. So as Muslims, still I exposed it yesterday. After my exposure, I get calls now from the people that what is this? We never knew. We thought some other thing is being constructed, some hotel or something like that. But this is going to be this because it's a foundation level and you can see the steel structure coming up.
Yes.
So now it's only news after you all expose this to the public, and the public is now only getting, so the either learned ulamas, the priest of those areas, only will start agitating, because now it's you can see the people protesting against a distillery company that is coming up in the eastern province.
Mrs. Ali, an interesting point is that the president in his manifesto, we highlighted this on a news bulletin.
I saw that yesterday.
But do you think, as you rightly mentioned in the earlier instance as well with regard to the UNHRC, the president and the prime minister and the other ministers seem to be in a disarray. They are not in the same page when it comes to, if at all, they are reading different books. If that is the case, do you think this is the case? Do you think there is a lack of communication amongst the ministers and the president?
Of course, if there is no lack of communication, I think most of the crisis would have not come. No, that is why in your several news items I have always mentioned that decision has to be by both the president and prime minister, because you can see the president going in one direction, the prime minister going in another direction. This is very harmful to the country, and especially a country like Sri Lanka, very harmful, because the prime minister implements certain projects and the president goes and stops it. It's not fair. It's not fair.
On whose account? Who is it not fair to?
Both, because the people gave a mandate to the president is to do the right thing. Right? And now people started agitating that you want the executive presidency abolished.
Right.
But today I feel, though we agitated and we took Maithripala Sirisena and we campaigned that this is the president who is coming to abolish the executive presidency. But now when things are happening this way, now people are thinking, should the executive presidency be abolished? Because the government is not going on the right direction. This is the big question that we have done. See, we spoke so much of transparency. We spoke so much of corruption, right, of the previous regime. See, what I feel is, this government is not capable of handling the previous regime.
Why do you say this?
Because if you take corruption as a whole, I think we have not eradicated that from the previous government, but we have inherited that now, and we are into that. We are into corruption. So this corruption, as some people say, like even Anur Kumar Dilsanagh saying in Parliament yesterday, that why the FCID is not taking into account the present ministers who are robbing. Why can't the public go and make a complaint there? And why is the government not taking any action? I have always been requesting the President and the Prime Minister both that at least 2 or 3 people in the present cabinet who have robbed the country must be taken to task. Only then the people will believe in you and what you said. Your explanation to the people that we will be a very transparent government, we will not allow abductions, we will not allow killing, we will not allow people to rob the country, all that. But even the people who have robbed the country are still at large. And they are enjoying life like they were in power. Now if you talk about the money that is lying in Dubai, $632 million US, right? The courts of Dubai is writing to the Sri Lankan government, come with the correct procedure. You can't write a letter in English to the UAE courts. You have to do a letter in Arabic. You have to get it endorsed by the foreign ministry. You have to get it endorsed by the Sri Lankan embassy, the Dubai embassy, UAE embassy in Sri Lanka, and then send it to court. And when they have sent that letter last year, 3 days, almost 1 year and 3 days today, Sri Lankan government still to respond. And the UAE government is saying, okay, not only that, you get your courts or get your Attorney General to write to us saying that this is robbed money that is lying in this account. We will then transfer it to Sri Lanka.
So it's just that
So
they have to do.
Just that they have to do, but they are not doing it.